Hi family, it's me, Miss Shepard. Good to see you all today. I am coming to you with some good news. I have the reports from the testing season we spoke so much about earlier on in the months of January and February. So I want to make sure that I send home the data from that so that you all can have an accurate picture of where your kids were at the beginning of the year in relation to where they are now. I think some of you all will be really pleased at what you see. I know that I'm excited. With that, I just want to explain a few things about the documents that you'll have and how to interpret them and maybe some common questions that might come up. So let's talk about the one that came first on the list, and that would be I just blocked out names. That would be the iReady winter diagnostic. So the report that you're going to get has a little iReady emblem at the top and your student's name. But what you'll also see when you look at the report is that there are 2 tests that are listed at the least. Some of you all have 3. You might have done a makeup or a redo, but most students did 2. Focus on the first test in relation to the second test. There's a section here that says placement, and so that's the overall reading level at which iReady assesses you. And then last is the scale score, which tells you what your score was the first time on the bottom for test 1, and then what your score has been for the second test. What's really cool about this student in particular, and some of you all may see the same thing happen with your scholar, is that for test 1, this student was approaching level 4 or a level 4 reading level, and at this point they have moved up so many points, almost 40 points, in fact 43 points, that they are in fact on level 4. So that's some cool news. On this report, you can also find a breakdown of some of the things that iReady, the components that iReady uses to teach students how to become stronger readers. So they'll give you just a rundown of what phonics is, what sorts of things they do for literature comprehension or comprehension of informational text, those sorts of things. And you can look for those items on the back of the packet. And then the last thing is just for a further breakdown, look on the second page to get a better understanding of how students did on each individual category. Okay, so that is what you can use to kind of help you along on the iReady diagnostic. The next thing that students will be getting to bring home to you is going to be the NWEA report, or the MAP report. For the MAP report, I ran the report from 3rd grade up to 4th grade. It's how the report runs. But you can just focus on the one that says FA16 here in the middle. That's fall 2016. And then the winter 2016 score as well. The student RIT score, which is the measure of performance for this particular assessment, is the darkest of the bars in the graph. And then there are some comparisons there on how the district did as a whole, and then also what the normal grade level nationally is. One other cool thing about this report is in the spring of 2017, which hasn't happened yet, the weather tells us that we're almost there, but we're not quite there. There's a projected score for how students will perform based on how they have already done. So this student, for example, in the fall went from a score of a 190 here, and now they are at a score of a 208. So they were in you can see the percentile off to this box. It's bolded in the center. So the scores again are here, and then you can see the percentile range went from the 30th percentile in the fall to now the 62nd percentile, which is tremendous growth. And then the last thing that's really great about this particular report is that it even tells you your scholar's Lexile range. And so the Lexile range is at the very bottom in a kind of gray highlight here on the report. And so just to kind of get an idea of where your scholar may be. I've got a little cheat sheet so that you can kind of have an idea. So students who are typically on like a grade 3 reading level are in the 500s series of a Lexile range, all the way up to 699. Once you start to move into the 700 series Lexile range, all the way up to 799, you're in a grade 4 or on a grade 4 reading level. If you are at, I have a little cheat sheet, so that's why I'm looking down. If you are at an 800 to 899 Lexile range, you're typically at a grade 5 reading level. Anything from 900 into the thousands, so until like say 1100, moves you into them like a middle school range, so 6th, 7th, 8th grade reading level. If there are any questions about how to or what kinds of books you might want to get your scholar based on their current Lexile score, please feel free to reach out. And I do hope that these documents give you a better understanding of where your students' performance is, and then also what they understand as they're reading, so that when we are communicating with students, we can make sure that we are approaching their understanding of reading in a similar way. So I'm looking forward to working with you all to better the reading of students, and I'm really hoping that these reports help out. Okay, thanks so much for your time. Bye.